It's almost midnight. I have an all-day thrifting extravaganza tomorrow, so let's just get into it.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck. All they really wanna do.
Becky Park, and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari. And this week I did happen to make sales on all three platforms. I am a full-time high school choir teacher, but because it's the summer, I'm not teaching. So I've been able to invest a little bit more time than usual in my Poshmark reselling business. And I've also been able to expand into platforms like eBay and Mercari. And before school starts, I do really want to make sure that I send out a box of shipment to Amazon, because I've literally been collecting items to send in for like over a year. So I need to just hurry up and send that box in, because once the school year starts, let's be honest, I'm not going to get that done. But in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what items sold in the past week. I love making these videos and I love watching them too, because I feel like you can learn a lot of fun things from like thrift hauls and whatnot, but even more valuable than seeing what people are picking up is seeing what people are selling, and to see how much they're selling it for, to see how long they've held on to an item. So if you enjoy videos like this, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, because I make a video like this every week where I let you know what I sold on those three different platforms, just so you can keep up with what's going on in my reselling business. And if you like this video, make sure that you hit the like button so that I know you're enjoying this kind of content and continue to make it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into what sold. On Monday, July 29th, I sold one thing, and it was this pair of Columbia nylon hiking pants. They were the titanium something. I don't know if that's like a feature of the pants. I don't know. It just said titanium all over the pants, so I included that as well. They were in a size 8, kind of more like a khaki color, and these I don't think are the kinds that zip off. I think they were just like heavily ruched along the side. I could be totally wrong. You can look at the pictures here and see what they actually look like. But I sold these on Poshmark for $20, and I did offer discounted shipping, so I believe it was an offers to liker situation, and I made $14.20. If you've been following my thrift hauls, you know that I have been picking up a lot of like hiking gear and whatnot, especially in the late spring as we were getting ready for the summer, and that has been paying off. I have been selling through a lot of my Columbia hiking gear. I have some other brands as well, but the Columbia stuff really has been moving. And so I don't know if it's just that now is the time that people are going hiking, or maybe they like already went hiking and they realized I need better clothing for hiking, and that's why they went out and bought this stuff. I don't know. Regardless, I'm glad that it's moving. So that was my first and only sale on Monday. On Tuesday, I sold a couple things over on Poshmark. The first being this dress by Entro, and it was in my 4 for $25 sale, but the person just purchased this one dress, not 4 items for $25. It has this really pretty paisley print, and it had a handkerchief hem along the bottom. It was in a size large. I sent out offers to likers on this dress for $15 with discounted shipping. Sorry, I had like a huge knot down here in my hair. And so I made $10.20 on that sale. I have had that dress for a really long time. I think I got it the very first time I went to the pop-up consignment sale that happens in my town twice a year. So like probably at least a year ago, I've had that thing, more than a year ago. So, you know, not like a huge profit by all means. Entro is a boutique brand, and you can buy it from different wholesalers and whatnot. So I don't know that there's a lot of familiarity with that brand. And even though they make some really cute stuff, I don't know that very many people are typing in Entro to the search bar, whether it be on Poshmark or Google. So I think that's why those items do tend to sit. Just a warning to you in case you find something in the thrift store that is made by that brand. Next up, on Tuesday the 30th, I sold this really fun graphic shirt, and I don't remember when or where I got it. I don't think I've had it for too long. I called it new without tags because although it didn't have like the price tag attached to the shirt, it did still have the size sticker tag along the front. And it's this really cool Mr. Rogers t-shirt that also said like good vibes along the front. It was in a size small, and it actually sold to a viewer. So Shelby, if you're watching, thank you so much. I believe Shelby said she's also a teacher, so that was really cool. And she offered me $20 for this shirt, which I accepted, so I made $16 on that. You know, I know that there are a lot of resellers out there who like basically make a living selling graphic tees and band tees and whatnot. To be honest, those types of things just don't really move that well for me. But when I see stuff like this, that just really brings back lots of great memories of my childhood, because I watched Mr. Rogers as a kid. Like, there was something so satisfying about watching him unbutton his cardigan and put on a new one and untie and tie his shoes. Like, there was something about that was just so wonderful, because you knew it was going to happen in every episode. So I was really happy to pick this up, and I was also happy to see that it went to a new home. So that was really fun. The last thing that I sold on the 30th was a 2-piece bundle. And the first item was this new with tags blank NYC pair of shorts. They were distressed. They were called the Essex. That was like the name of the shorts, the Essex. And they were in a size 31. I don't remember where I got those. I think I got them at the Fill-A-Bag consignment sale, but I could totally be making that up, so I don't know. And then the last thing, I do remember I picked this up at a Goodwill. It was this Birds of America dress, and the dress was called the Dot Dot Goose dress, which is pretty cute. That's a pretty clever name for a dress. And it had this polka dot print all over it. It was kind of like this mauve-y lavender color. It was a size extra large. I picked that up at a Goodwill quite a while ago. Like, I've had that dress for a bit now, but it was just so darling. And this brand does get pretty decent comps. At least it did when I searched for it, when I found it at a Goodwill. I believe it's a Canadian brand. Now, the hard thing about Birds of America as a brand name is that when you type that into Google, you just literally get hits about birds from America. So, like, as a brand, it's kind of hard to find comps or to look up pictures, or even probably to have your item be found through Google. So that's another thing to just kind of be thoughtful of. But regardless, this bundle sold for $50 and discounted shipping. So I must have sent them an offer. I don't remember if she made the bundle or if I made the bundle out of items that she liked. I think it was the latter, but I'm not 100% sure. Regardless, a bundle was made, a discount was sent. I made $38.20 on that sale. Those were all the sales for Tuesday. So moving on to Wednesday the 31st, which was the last day of July, and holy cow, like, July seems to have flown by so fast. In fact, like, just the fact that school for me is starting in 2 weeks, like, I don't understand how this summer just flew by so quickly. Let me know in the comment section down below if you feel the same way, but I cannot wrap my head around how fast this summer sped by. Anyway, the first thing that sold on the 31st, which was Wednesday, was this pair of Nike black swim trunks. They were a youth large, and they sold for $13, which gave me $10.05. I have had those for quite some time. I think I got them last year, so I'm happy to see those move. The next thing that sold on Poshmark was this pair of silver jeans. It was the Suki denim mid capri with like super stretch in a size 26. I sold those for $20. I believe someone sent me an offer for $20. I think I only had them listed for like $25 or $24, and I made $16 on that sale. Silver and I have an interesting relationship. It's one of those things where I feel like it should be so good because they price it up so high at Goodwill. And I think that this I actually found, I don't know where I found it. I think it was at that Fill-A-Bag consignment sale, and I think I snagged it because I was just like, oh, like, silver is so expensive at Goodwill and at Plato's Closet, so it must go for a lot. And I mean, $20 is nothing to sneeze at, but when I checked the comps, they just weren't as lucrative as I thought they would be, given how much Goodwill and Plato's Closet price silver jeans at. So, you know, I mean, it's fine. Now I know, like, it's really only worth picking up if you're only going to spend a couple dollars on it. So I'm glad to have learned that lesson. But regardless, I believe this is my first sale of silver jeans, so that's kind of exciting. And then the last thing that sold on Poshmark on Wednesday the 31st was this really cool vest by Igor Dobranik. It's like, whenever I see, hold on, there's a little fuzz. I'm not gonna get it. Whenever I see names that are clearly not like American names, I always try to put on the accent of what nationality I think that person is. I don't know what I think Igor Dobranik is, but I don't think you pronounce it Dobranik. I'm pretty sure it's like Dobranik or something like that. But regardless, this really cool vest, it was red, it was made of 100% linen, and I called it like a tunic cardigan. I didn't even call it a vest in the listing, but it was part of that huge haul that I've talked about many times now, that my student's mom went to Michigan to pick up all this stuff from her mom, and she brought it back because we were doing this garage sale for our a cappella groups, which, by the way, we're going to be doing a garage sale again, but this time we're going to do it with theater people because I don't need to raise as much money this year for my a cappella groups. We're not taking a huge trip like we did last year to New York, but we are trying to do some really cool things in theater. But I think we are actually going to do a garage sale with the theater group at my high school. But you know, we've made like $3,000-$4,000 in the past from doing those. But anyway, she brought this down as part of that. I've had this cardigan for quite some time in my Poshmark closet, and it would get likes here and there, but I think it was one of those things, again, like I don't know that this brand is super recognizable. I do think that this person makes really high quality items. I just don't know that very many people are searching for his stuff. So regardless, I finally received a really great offer on this piece for $33. I think I had it listed maybe in the 40s, but still $33 I thought was very reasonable, so I made $26.40 on that. Now, this is the first day of the week that I did have some eBay sales, which was really exciting. And I had a few eBay sales. I had a couple auctions end this day, and I also had a sale that was made just from someone making me an offer. eBay in general has been pretty good for me. I'm still doing a lot of like smaller ticket items just because I want to learn eBay on my terms. I don't want to sell too many things right now on eBay that demand a higher price because I want to still have room to make mistakes. If I make a mistake shipping something out that someone only paid $1.99 for, that doesn't feel as horrible to me as it would if I made a mistake sending out something that was like $50. You know what I mean? So just to kind of allow myself to learn the platform a little bit more, I'm totally okay with all these like smaller sales, and I'm growing my confidence as an eBay seller by doing so. That's just been my approach. You may be the complete opposite and just go all in from the get-go, and if that's you, that's awesome. And actually my friend Jess over at, I don't ever remember like how her Instagram handle goes exactly, but I will put it here. This is her Instagram handle. And one thing that she was saying over in her stories one day that kind of resonated with me a lot was the fact that, you know, she was like, I just like to make money, and so my love for money overshadows my whatever feelings I have about eBay. So she's like, I list so much over there, and I do pay that 35-cent listing fee if I have run out of my free listings for the month, and I do this and I do that, and I do it because I do make money on eBay, regardless of the fact that sometimes I get bogus returns or this or that or whatever. And I think, you know, up until this point, I have been hesitant to list anything if it goes over my free listing capacity. I haven't paid that 35-cent fee, that listing fee for any item so far. But I think at some point, maybe either this month or the next, like I will just start to go all in and really cross list everything that I'm listing over on Poshmark. Because I get now why people are saying that eBay is a great platform to sell on. It really is. So I think it will help to, you know, add that to my repertoire of platforms that I'm selling on, and just to take some bigger risks over there, because oftentimes bigger risk equals bigger reward. Now I've been really lucky because so far, knock on wood, so far I haven't had any bogus returns or anything like that. I haven't had any returns. So I, you know, don't have that bad eBay taste in my mouth yet that I know a lot of other people do. And, you know, I know a lot of people have left eBay for that very reason. So I'm just gonna like keep a low profile for the next month or so, just really learn my stuff, get really comfortable, and then we'll move forward from there. But that's my eBay update for you. So let's get into what sold. The first thing that sold was this t-shirt, and it was, I don't know, I guess you could call it a graphic t-shirt, but it was for the Rose Bowl in 2008, and it was U of I versus the USC, what school is that? University of Southern California? Is that right? I don't know, but it's the USC Trojans, and it was just a t-shirt by Russell Athletic in a size large. I have no idea how this shirt ended up in my house. I think maybe it came from Steve, but that's not even Steve's size, I don't think. I do think Steve would have been a student here at the U of I in 2008, so I guess that could make some sense, but yeah, that's not even the size that he wears, so I don't know where it came from. And if you don't know who my friend Steve is, he gave me a bunch of clothes. He's a friend of mine from church, and he gave me a bunch of clothes because I gave his daughter voice lessons, so it's like old school, like, it's like biblical times bartering, you know? So anyway, I think that's from him. So I put it out for auction on eBay for $1.99. It got the one bid. I think maybe it got relisted like once or twice, but it finally got a bid for $1.99. I had them pay shipping, and after eBay and PayPal fees, I made $1.73 on that sale, which is still pure profit, right? Like, yes, I had to take the time to take, actually, I didn't even take the pictures. I had my student who takes pictures for me take the pictures, and yes, I had to list it and I had to do all that stuff. But what it gave me was some confidence, and it just helped me learn a little bit more about eBay. So I am happy with that small profit that I made on that item. The next thing that sold on eBay was another auction item, and it was this Le Sport Sac. I don't know how you pronounce that, L-E, but Le Sport Sac heart print little tiny black nylon purse. It was really cute. Again, I don't know where this came from. It was just in my house. I think it has something to do with my mom, like maybe she gave it to me, I don't know. But it was cute, I just have no use for a bag like that. I believe I started the auction at $4 for this item. It did get a bid, and I think it got a bid like in that first week. They also paid for shipping, and it was so light, so yeah, it was a breeze to ship, and I made $3.48 on that bag. The last thing that sold on eBay was through just the good old-fashioned send me an offer route of reselling, and it was this bikini top by Hot Water, and it had this tropical floral print on it. It was really cute. It was a size extra large. They sent me an offer for $9, which I accepted because, you know, it's a little bit harder to sell bathing suits, I feel like, when you don't have both pieces, like if it's a bikini. And I don't know that Hot Water is like a super popular or desirable brand, so I was happy with the $9. And I did have to spend like an additional 66 cents on shipping, I believe, because I think I only had the buyer pay for like $3 of shipping. So after fees, this thing floating in front of my face. After fees and that little bit of shipping that I did help pay for, I made $7.17. If you are an avid eBay seller, I'd also love to hear in the comment section down below what you do for shipping. I know that everyone has very different schools of thought, and that some people do free shipping on everything, and some people always make the buyer pay for shipping, and there are those people that will pay like a certain amount of shipping for the buyer so that the buyer doesn't have to pay for everything. I'd just love to know what you do. I have been trying out all three methods just to see what works best for me, and also to see if there's one way that just makes for more sales. I don't know, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that because I'm still just learning how to do this. We're still figuring things out. So on Thursday, which was August 1st, I only had one sale. It was not a big one. It was over on eBay, and it was this loft red and white striped shirt that had like a front tie on it. It was actually really cute, and it was in my size. I don't know, looking back, I'm kind of like, maybe I should have kept it. It's really cute. It was a size extra small petite, and someone sent me an offer for $10 on it, plus they paid for shipping. But this was one of those things, I do 1% promotional, what is it called? You know what I'm talking about. But I do like 1% of the promotion thing on eBay, and it said that this sold through promotion. So I believe that because I said 1%, I believe that that means instead of like 10%, they're going to take 11% of a cut from that transaction. So that's what I calculated. So I made $8.60 on that shirt that maybe I should have just kept for myself, but it's fine. It is what it is. All right, so on August 2nd, which was a Friday, I had a couple sales. The first one was this bundle of 2 men's button-up or button-down shirts, and both of these, the pictures were taken by my student photographer. She's really doing a great job. She's really grown in her photography skills throughout the summer. I don't know what's going to happen when the school year starts, because just like I get really busy, she gets really busy. And she gets really busy because I basically own her life. Like once school starts, honestly, like with these kids, sometimes I see them more than their own families do. You know, a lot of them are in choir, and then they're also in a cappella in the morning, and then they're also in musical theater, and I see them after school. I mean, it's nutsos. Like sometimes I just see these kids for so many hours in one day, and then they go home at like 9 o'clock at night, and they basically have time to say goodnight to their parents, and then they do their homework, go to sleep. It's crazy. So I don't know if she'll have the time to keep taking pictures for me, and if she doesn't, I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'll be kind of screwed. The good thing is I've built up this like huge backlog of pictures now because she's been taking pictures all summer. So I do have stuff to hold me over for quite some time, but it's still kind of like, I'm already stressing out thinking about her not taking pictures for me. I don't even know that she can't, but I'm spiraling here. Anyway, on Friday, I sold this 2-piece bundle, and the first item was this Gap black linen. It was 100% linen, and it was just this button-up shirt. And then the second item in this bundle was this Hugo Boss slim fit plaid button down shirt. And the difference between button up and button down, in case you didn't know, button down shirts have like the little slit on the lapel to put a button in, and there's like a little button right underneath where the slit is, so you can button the shirt down to the shirt, which is why it's called a button down. And then button ups, they don't have that thing under the, I said lapel, I meant collar. So like under the collar, they don't have a button to button the collar down to the shirt. So that's the difference between button up and button down. And this person happened to buy one of each. I believe that the Gap shirt, see, I don't even know. I don't know where it came from. I think I don't even know. And then the Hugo Boss one, I believe my husband found it at Goodwill. So someone actually made a bundle and sent me an offer, and I feel like that doesn't happen very much anymore, but that's how that went down. And she sent me an offer of $38, so I made $30.40 on that sale. And then the last thing that sold on the second was also a Poshmark sale, and it was this Not Your Daughter's jeans, and I feel like they don't even call themselves that anymore. It's just NYDJ. So NYDJ jeans, and it's the Alina denim legging in this like army green color, which I feel like a lot of people love that color. I love that color. And it was a size 14 long, which I was excited to find because, you know, I feel like there are people who need specific size things like longer lengths or shorter lengths or, you know, things like that. So when you find something like that and it's a cute piece, you know, there are people out there who are looking specifically for that size or that length. So, you know, I thought it was a good pickup. She sent me an offer of $23, which I accepted, so I made $18.40 on that sale. On August 3rd, which was a Saturday, I had 0 Poshmark sales. I had a couple $0 days on Poshmark. Yeah, Thursday the 1st and Saturday the 3rd, they were $0 days for me on Poshmark. But over on eBay, I did have a somewhat exciting sale. I've had this Tommy Hilfiger pullover with like the spell out, and I think it was like a quarter zip, and on the inside of the collar it had, you know, just that classic Tommy Hilfiger colorway. It was like red and blue and white, whatever, just very like Americana looking. I believe I got this from one of my students' older sisters. I bought, you know, just kind of like a lot of clothes off of her that she was offloading, and I believe this was in that lot. There were some issues with the sweater that I obviously disclosed, and it actually had like a good number of stains on it when I received it. Now, my husband is the master of taking out stains, and it's just because like he's so stubborn. Like he gets so upset if he can't get something out. So he will literally treat it and wash it, treat it and wash it, and like do that multiple times, especially with stuff that is like our family's clothing. So it's really nice because my kids' clothes last forever because he literally gets like every stain out. So he worked really hard on this pullover, and he did get like basically all the stains out, which was really impressive. There was also a good amount of pilling on the outside, so I did take a sweater shaver to it, and it looks a lot better now. So obviously I disclosed the pilling and whatnot, and there was also like a little hole forming on the seam, I think, of like one of the shoulders. So I disclosed all of that, and I had it listed pretty high, especially over on Poshmark, because I had this over both on Poshmark and on eBay. And on eBay, I think I had it listed for $49.99. Now, one day on my Instagram, I was actually talking about like using a sweater shaver and demonstrating how I use mine, and I was doing it on this particular pullover. But one of my good friends, Lucy, over on Instagram, if you're watching, hey girl, but she was like, oh, I think my son might like that. So I was sending her pictures and measurements and whatnot, and I think we realized it was actually going to be a little too big for him. But he's super into like streetwear and vintage clothing and 90s fashion, and she was like, he says make sure that you don't take less than 45 for it, which I was like, so I was trying really hard to make sure that I got $45 for this pullover just to make her and her son proud. But I like wasn't really factoring in the fact that it did have, you know, like that hole and the stains and the pilling and all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if this was vintage. Like I couldn't find a date tag on it, and it wasn't like explicitly obviously vintage, so I felt wrong listing it as such. So I just, you know, said Tommy Hilfiger. But I mean, I could tell that people really liked it. I got a lot of offers on it on eBay, especially a lot of really lowball offers. So I'm glad that I at least held out for $37. We did kind of go back and forth with pricing. Like, he didn't send me a $37 offer. I think he started at $30 or something like that. I also really like how on eBay, when you counter offer, you can attach a note to it or like a message to it, and you can kind of do that on Poshmark. It involves a few more steps. You have to like create a bundle, and you have to, I mean, so it takes a little bit longer, but with eBay, it's just kind of built in where you can send a message to your potential buyer when you send them a counter offer. So I do like that. And I did use that to tell him like, hey, this is the lowest I'm willing to go. And we'd go back and forth, and he'd come back and leave me a nice little message too. So it was a very like respectful and great like back and forth that we had. So I did eventually settle at 37, even though it was lower than I wanted to go. But like when I looked at the listing again, and I talked to my husband about it, and he was like, oh my gosh, take it. Like, we need to get that thing out of our house. So I'm happy that this moved for $37. I did have to pay some extra money for shipping because this was one of those items that I said I would pay for $6 towards shipping, knowing that I would have to pay some money for shipping. So I ended up having to pay $2.50 on top of the $6 that he paid. And then also this sold on promotion. How do you tell that something's sold on promotion? Like, I wish there was a way that eBay could like prove it to you, but whatever. I mean, it was 1%. So with that, with like me having to add more shipping and with that 1% promotion, it came down to me getting $31.80 off of that sale, which that's pretty great, right? Like, who am I to complain? I did have my one and only Mercari sale on Saturday, and it was this Old Navy sleeveless dress, and it was in this olive green color, and it like came up really high. It had like a higher neck. I was shocked because this got so many likes, especially over on Mercari. And I feel like actually my Old Navy items do really well on Mercari. Like, I had a what sold video a few months ago, maybe like 2 of them, where as soon as I listed Old Navy cargo shorts, they sold like that. And so I don't know what it is about Mercari and Old Navy, or like the demographics of who's using Mercari that makes them love Old Navy so much. But if you have Old Navy stuff and you're, you know, gonna price it right, I would definitely try Mercari. I sold this. Someone sent me an offer for $10, and I did put free shipping with it. I didn't have it listed at $10. I think I had it listed at like $14, but I took the offer for $10. I did have to pay for shipping. So after all that and Mercari fees, they take 10%. I made $5.04. Someone gave me that dress for free, so I was not worried about the fact that I only made $5.04. I thought that that was still pretty good for Old Navy. The last thing that sold on Saturday was actually super exciting because it's the first time I've ever made a sale through a YouTube haul. Now, I want you to understand something. I don't film thrift hauls in an effort to make money. Like, that's not why I'm doing it. I'm not like secretly hoping that all these people will flood my inbox and be like, oh, I want that and I want that. Like, that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it, one, because I love watching thrift hauls, so that's why I want to put that kind of content out there. I want to put out content that I personally would also like to consume, but also because thrift hauls can be really helpful to see what other people are picking up. Personally, I think what sold videos are even more helpful because people can pick up whatever they want. That doesn't mean that it's going to sell. But I think there's also something really cool about watching what sold videos and being able to relate those items back to thrift hauls that were filmed earlier. So that's really why I do it. I don't like pray at night that someone will buy stuff off of my thrift haul. But the fact that it happened is just the cherry on top. Like, that's really cool. So I did this unboxing of a wholesale order that I received from Via Trading, and I will link that right here. And in that box were a few pieces that this viewer really enjoyed, and she asked me, she sent me an email. No, she contacted me on Instagram, which if you're not following me on Instagram, here's a shameless little plug. It is at Becky Park on Poshmark. If you ever wanted to email me too, by the way, I do have my email address down in the description below. I also have like my P.O. box address. Like, I have like 8 different ways that you could reach me if you so desire. But she reached out to me on Instagram and she said, hey, I was interested in these 3 pieces. And she was like so great because she left me like timestamps for each of the times that I showed the item that she was interested in. And so she was like, if you could just get me measurements, that would be great. So I did that, and she said that 2 of the 3 would probably work for her. So we worked out this price of $40 for these 2 sweaters that I'm going to tell you about here in a second. And because I didn't even get a chance to list it on any given platform, all I really have in terms of pictures for these items are from the thrift haul. So you'll see a picture of me like holding the item like this or like this, and it's literally a screenshot from my unboxing video. So that's why those pictures are kind of crazy. But the first thing that she bought was this Charter Club black sweater, and it had these really cute hearts all across it and one red heart over where your heart really goes. That was in a size extra large. And then the second thing that she got was by Style & Co. And both Charter Club and Style & Co. are like in-house Macy's brands. From Style & Co., she got this gray cardigan, and it was this open knit. I think they called it like pointelle knit or something like that, but it was just an open front, open knit cardigan, really perfect for like the office or different things like that. So that was just super exciting. She paid $40 for that, but you have to remember that there is still like 3% PayPal fees. We just went through PayPal, so they did take their 3%. And I also had offered her like $40 for those 2 items shipped, so I did have to pay for shipping. And I believe shipping was $7.99. I used Pirate Ship, and I know a lot of you have been asking me to make a Pirate Ship video. I will. That's on my list of videos to make, so I will be doing that here very soon. So after getting a shipping label from Pirate Ship and the PayPal 3% cut, I made $30.55 on those 2 sweaters. In case you didn't watch that Via Trading unboxing video, I did get a box of shelf pulls and returns from Macy's. So the majority of the items in the box were Macy's brands like Charter Club, Style & Co. There was a lot of like Alfani, there was some Calvin Klein, it was that kind of stuff. If you're interested in trying out a Via Trading wholesale box, I will put a link for my coupon code down in the description section below, and you can save $25 off your first purchase with them, which is pretty huge. So if you are interested in, trying out wholesale for the first time, or like liquidation lots or whatever, they've got you. And they don't just do clothes. Like if you want to get into tools, or they like sell everything. It's crazy. So that'll be down in the description below, that coupon code. But anyway, Maria, if you're watching, thank you so much for your purchase. That was so cool. That was really cool that happened. And then finally on Sunday the 4th, I had one sale over on Poshmark, and it was a bundle, and I was really happy with this bundle. So it was this dress from Icebreaker, and I would have never learned about this brand Icebreaker had it not been for watching Nicole State videos. She picks it up a lot, I think more like on the East Coast where she's at. This was my first time ever coming across it, but it's just like an outdoor brand, kind of like Patagonia or North Face. It's one of those kinds of brands, and they carry a lot of stuff, I believe, that's made of 100% wool. And this dress in particular was made of 100% merino wool. It's black, and it's called the Villa dress, and it was a size extra small. Comps for this were amazing. And not only that, I did get a lot of offers right away. I think I had it listed around like 58, which is probably on like the slightly higher end, but it was in really good condition, and like I said, comps were really good. So I did get a lot of lowball offers on it, so I'm really glad that I held out. I've been trying to be better about that, and I'm happy that this person got it with this other item that I'm going to tell you about, and I felt like she sent me a really reasonable offer. So the second piece that she put in her bundle was this tank by Madewell, and it's called the Coastland Striped Knit Tank. I love that with Madewell, when you find their style number on like the care tag or whatever on the inside of the clothes, if you just type in the style number, you're gonna get exactly what that shirt or whatever that piece of clothing that you have is called, which makes it easier to find comps. And oftentimes you can also find stock photos that way if you are the type of person that likes to use stock photos. I do sometimes. I don't use them all the time, but I do sometimes. I don't think I did for this tank. Maybe I did. Maybe, I don't know, you'll see it here. I don't know. But it was in a size extra small. It was really cute. It was like a heavier knit tank, and it was just, classic Madewell, very classy, preppy, that kind of look. She sent me an offer on these 2 items for $65, which was great. Like, that is such a reasonable and amazing offer. If you are watching, thank you. You have no idea what reasonable offers mean to people like us, because oftentimes we are getting kind of crazy offers, let's be honest. So after Poshmark's 20% cut, I made $52 on that bundle. So overall, on Poshmark this week, I sold 13 items and I made $231.85. 13 items is pretty low for me. Like, I feel like typically I sell in the 20s in terms of how many items I sell on Poshmark in any given week. But I think that, you know, it makes sense in the sense that I'm devoting a lot less time to Poshmark because I'm also cross-listing now over to eBay and Mercari. Like, everything that I list over on those platforms as well. So, you know, that means I'm spending a little bit less time on Poshmark. I also have been really distracted this week because of Candy Crush. And like, there have been multiple days this week where I didn't share my closet at night. Like, typically I will share my closet every night before I go to sleep, and every morning I have a student of mine who I pay to share my closet in the morning. So it's always getting shared at least twice a day. Sometimes I'll even share like in the middle of the day, so it'll be 3 times a day. But I would just stay up so late playing Candy Crush that I would not actually share my closet at night. So that's my own fault, but I'm happy with the $231.85 from those 13 items. On eBay, I sold 5 items for a total of $52.78. And on Mercari, I sold the 1 item and made $5.04. So in total, oh, and through a YouTube haul and through, you know, talking back and forth with someone on Instagram, I made $30.55. So that brings me to a total of $326.22. 15 of those items were women's pieces, 4 were men's pieces. 1 was kind of a unisex item. That Mr. Rogers piece, I would say, is unisex, and 1 was a kid's item. That's all that I sold this week. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more stuff like this, make sure that you have subscribed to this channel. You can even hit that little notification bell to make sure that you are alerted every time I upload a new video. This week I will probably have a haul video from the Goodwill bins because I'm going tomorrow. That is my thrifting extravaganza. And then I will also probably have a video about how to host a Poshmark party as well as how to host a Posh and Sip. So yeah, that's what's coming up. See you later in the next one. Bye.